Hello friends, this is Gangadhar from the YouTube channel Maths Ganga. Today in this session we are going to discuss about the basic concept of mod value of x, modulus x. The very basic definition of mod x is like this. Mod x value is x if x is positive, whereas mod x value is 0 if x is equals to 0, and the mod x value is minus x if x less than 0. This modulus of x works like a mission. For suppose in that mission, if our input is a positive number, this modulus mission multiplies our input with the plus sign and give the result. So that means if our input is x, if our input x is positive, then this modulus multiplies that x with positive sign and gives us a result as plus x. And if our input is 0, then modulus x directly gives us 0. If our input is a negative number for the mission mod x, then the mod x works, it multiplies a negative sign with that x, it multiplies our input x with a minus sign and gives the result as minus x. So the work of modulus is, if our input is positive number, it multiplies with plus sign and give the result. If our input is 0, it directly gives as 0. If our input is negative x, it multiplies with the negative sign. Okay, for example, if you see modulus of 3, okay, what is my input? 3. 3 is a positive number. Since our input 3 is a positive number, the modulus multiplies this 3 with plus and gives us the result as 3, plus 3. Okay, if our input is 0, then the modulus directly gives us 0. Whereas, if our input is some minus 7 by 2, what is my input? Minus 7 by 2. That input minus 7 by 2 is negative. Since my input is negative, the modulus multiplies my input with the negative sign. So, our input is minus 7 by 2, it multiplies with the negative sign, so the output, the result is minus of minus 7 by 2. This minus is the multiplication done by the modulus function. Okay, see, minus of minus 7 by 2, which is equals to 7 by 2. Okay, so finally what is the work of modulus? It multiplies the positive number with the plus sign and it multiplies the negative number with the minus sign. Since it is multiplying positive number with the plus sign, the result is positive. And since it is multiplying the negative number with the minus sign, again the result is positive. So always the result is positive. If our input is positive, the result is plus of the input. If our input is negative, the result is minus of that input. If we don't know about the input, then we don't know about the output also. Okay? If we don't know whether the input is positive or negative, then we can't say about the result also. For example, if anybody asks you what is mod x, okay, see, we don't know whether x is positive or negative. So we need to give in these different cases. If this x is positive, our result is plus x. If this x is negative, our result is minus x. If this x is 0, our result is 0. And otherwise, if we know exactly about the value of x like this mod 3, mod minus 7 by 2, mod 0, then directly we do. Okay, so usually if anybody asks you to mention the result of mod x, then we will say it has plus or minus x. It is plus x if x positive, it is minus x if x negative. In the other case, if anybody directly gives us to ask what is modulus of minus 2018, here clearly we know about the input, minus 2018, it's a negative number. Since it is negative, we multiply with the negative sign and the result will be minus of minus 2018 and the output is 2018. Okay, so finally this is the work of modulus. Okay, see, we are very familiar, we are very well known about the output only if the input is well known. That means if we know exactly about the input, whether it is positive or negative, then we will give you the result. If we don't know about the input, whether it is positive or negative, then the output is also exactly we don't know. Okay, so while calculating modulus or while removing modulus from the problems, we need to concentrate on the input. That means the expression or the number which is there in the modulus. If we observe that number which is there in the modulus, since if it is positive, our result is directly plus of that value. Okay, see, let us see some more examples. For example, if I give you modulus of x square, if I ask you modulus of x square, see, x square, clearly x square is positive. Since always x square is positive, we are giving a positive expression x square for the modulus function, so it multiplies our positive x square with the plus sign and it gives us the result as plus x square. Okay, whereas if we mention modulus of x minus 2, what is the value of modulus of x minus 2? See, to remove this modulus or to calculate the output from this modulus, we need to concentrate on this x minus 2. We don't know whether this x minus 2 is positive or negative. If this x minus 2 is positive, we need to multiply with the plus sign. If this x minus 2 is negative, we need to multiply with the minus sign. So, if without knowing whether it is positive or negative, we don't have the exact value of modulus, so we need to take two cases. First, suppose if they mention that if x is greater than 2. If x is greater than 2, what will happen? The value of x is larger than 2. Since x is more than 2, x minus 2 is positive. Since x minus 2 is positive, then while removing modulus, we will multiply with the plus sign and our answer is x minus 2. Okay, for suppose if they mention that if x is less than 2, if x is less than 2, then what about the x minus 2? Our input is x minus 2. If x is less than 2, this x minus 2 is negative. X is smaller than 2. So smaller value minus larger value is negative. Since our input x minus 2 is negative, then while removing modulus, we need to multiply with the minus sign, minus of x minus 2, and the result is 2 minus x. Okay, so while calculating modulus, the initial step is we need to concentrate on the expression which is there in the modulus. If that expression or the number is positive, then multiply that expression with plus sign to remove the modulus. If that expression is negative, then multiply the expression with the negative sign to remove the modulus. Okay, very simple task. Okay, see, there are different properties related to this modulus. Okay, we have to discuss those properties with one or more definitions also, right? For example, already we explained that what it is. If we give the positive number to the modulus, it multiplies with the plus sign, so the result is positive. If we give the negative number, it multiplies with the negative sign. Again, the result is positive. If we give 0 to the modulus, it results as 0 only. So, for positive x and for negative x, the result is always positive, and for 0, the result is 0. So, we say that modulus of x is 0 or positive. Okay. So, combining this 0 or positive, we may announce that modulus of x is always non-negative. Okay, so the very fundamental statement is mod x is always non-negative. So mod x is greater than or equals to 0. Sometimes mod x is 0 and sometimes mod x is greater than 0. So we will write that modulus of x is greater than or equals to 0. Okay, so if anybody asks you to calculate that mod x is equals to some 3. Okay, so when you will say mod x is equals to 3, there are two options. Okay, if we give 3 for the modulus, it results as 3. If we give minus 3 to the modulus, it multiplies that minus 3 with minus and gives the result as 3. So if anybody asks you mod x is equals to 3, then find x, then you will announce that x is equals to plus 3 or minus 3. Okay, there are two chances for the inputs to get the result as 3. Okay, and in the same case, if anybody asks you mod x is equals to minus 7, then what is x? Okay, see, mod x is equals to minus 7. Mod x is always 0 or positive. Mod x will never be negative. So if they ask us to calculate x from mod x is equals to minus 7, clearly this is not possible. Why? Because the left hand side is modulus of x, which is always 0 or positive, whereas the right hand side is minus 7 since it is negative. A positive number is not equal to the negative number, so it's a wrong statement. So this equation has no solution. Okay, see, so to understand the basic idea of modulus, we need to concentrate on the expression which is there in the modulus, right? Let us discuss some more examples here. Right. For example, if like this, we just let us concentrate on the equations. Mod x is equals to 4. So what is the result of x? Just we discussed here, the value of x will be plus or minus 4. Okay, and if mod x is equals to a negative number like minus 7, then x has no solution. Okay, in the same way, if modulus of x minus 2, okay, is equals to some 3, then what to say about the x? Since modulus of x minus 2 is equals to 3, this x minus 2 may be 3, this x minus 2 may be minus 3. Then we will write like this, x minus 2 is equals to 3 or x minus 2 is equals to minus 3. From this we will write that x is equals to 5 or x is equals to, see, minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1. So we have two options if this number is positive number. So to generalize this, if modulus of x minus a is equals to some k, then the values, if k is positive, then there are two chances. If k is positive, we have the solution. If k is negative, we don't have the solution. If modulus of x minus a is equals to k, and if k is negative, modulus value never equals to the value negative value. So in this case, we don't have solution for the x. Whereas if modulus of x minus a is equals to k, and since k is positive, we have two solutions. We will write that x minus a is equals to plus or minus k, and x is equals to a plus k or a minus k. Okay, so this is the way of solving the usual modulus equations. First of all, we need to concentrate on the expression, on the value of k. If this k is negative, negative value won't equals to the modulus value, so it has no solution. If this k is positive, then a plus k or a minus k are the solutions, and usually we proceed like this to solve. Okay, in the same way, we can calculate the modulus inequations also. For suppose, if modulus of x is less than 3, then what to say about the value of x? Modulus of x is less than 3. See, to remove this modulus, we don't know whether x is positive or negative. So basically we have two chances. Okay, see, what are the two chances? X is positive chance, whereas x is negative chance. If x is positive, then what will happen? Mod x is directly x, so x less than 3. If x is negative, what is the chance you have? If x is negative, then modulus of x is minus x, so minus x is less than 3. Since minus x is less than 3, by multiplying both sides with minus sign, we will get that x greater than minus 3. From this case, x greater than minus 3. From this case, x less than minus 3. So x greater than 0 and x less than 3. X greater than 0 and x less than 3. The combined equation from these two is x value is in between 0 and 3. And here x less than 0, x is smaller than 0, whereas x is greater than minus 3. From these two, the combined equation is minus 3 less than x less than 0. So if x is negative, the solution for the Sx is the values of x which are in between minus 3 to 0. If x is positive, the solutions for this is the values of x are from 0 to 3. Combining these two, we will announce that if mod x is less than 3, the solutions are minus 3 less than x less than 3. Minus 3 నుంచి 0 వరకు and 0 నుంచి 3 వరకు. 0 clearly satisfies this inequation. So final solution is minus 3 less than x less than 3. So if mod x is less than 3, the values of x are in between minus of this 3 and then to the plus of this 3. Okay, see, if somebody asks you to calculate mod x less than minus 5, Then what about the solution of this equation? Since mod x is less than minus 5, this modulus of x is always positive, whereas this minus 5 is negative. Modulus value never less than to the negative value. Okay, that why? Because this modulus value is positive value which is given as less than negative value. A positive value never less than the negative value. So this equation has no solution. Okay, so mod x less than 3. If this 3 is positive, we will proceed in this way to calculate x. If that result minus 5 as if the right hand side is negative, then it has no solution. Okay, concluding these two, how can we finalize? Okay, concluding these two, we finalize it like this. If modulus of x is less than a, okay, we need to concentrate on a. There are two chances. If a greater than 0 and if a less than 0. If a less than 0, then mod x less than a has no solution. Whereas in this case, if a greater than 0, then the solution for mod x less than a is minus a less than x less than. The values of x are in between minus a and a. Okay, not only for modulus, we can proceed with some other problems also. For suppose if modulus of x minus 1 is less than 4. Modulus of x minus 1 is less than 4. From this idea, the expression which is there in the modulus is in between minus 4 and 4. So we will write it like this. Minus 4 less than x minus 1 less than 4. To get the value of x, just add everything, add 1 to the three sides. So it will become like minus 4 plus 1 less than x less than 4 plus 1. And the result is minus 3 less than x less than 5. If mod x minus 1 less than 4, we solve this inequation like this. Okay, right. Coming to the next idea. In the same way, as we discussed in this case as mod x less than a, if suppose mod x value is greater than a, if mod x less than a, the solutions are x value is in between minus a and a. Okay, if mod x is greater than a, then the solutions are not in between minus a and a. Since the values of x are not in between minus a and a, then where are the values of x? The values of x are either side of minus a and a. That means x less than minus a or x greater than a. Okay, if mod x is greater than a, the value of x is either greater than a or less than minus a. And coming to this case, mod x greater than a and if a less than 0, that means if a is negative value, then in this case, every real number, all real values are the solutions for x. Let us discuss this with some examples. For example, if anybody asks that mod x greater than minus 4, we need to calculate the solution for mod x greater than minus 4. This mod x value is positive, greater than, minus 4 is negative. Positive value is greater than negative value. Whenever it happens, always it happens. Always positive value is greater than negative value. So for this case, take any value in the place of x, it satisfies the inequation. So all the real values are the solutions for this equation. Okay. Whereas if mod x value is less than 4, no, or greater than positive value 4, like this, mod x greater than 4. If mod x is greater than 4, then the solutions for this inequation are either x less than minus 4 or x greater than 4. Okay. See, to discuss about this, we discussed in mod x less than a case. In the same way, we will proceed in two cases by taking x positive and x negative, and finally we get the result as x less than a, x less than minus a, or x greater than a. Okay, right. So this is the basic idea of the modulus. So finally, what we conclude is, okay, for a positive a, okay, I am removing this. For a greater than 0, if mod x is equals to a, the values of x is equals to plus or minus a. If mod x value is less than a, the values of x are minus a less than x less than a. If mod x value is greater than a, the values of x are less than minus a or x greater than a. Okay, for example, if you take any value some 4 or some 5, for example, if you take a as 4, if a is equals to 4 on the number line, okay, you just locate minus 4 and 4. Okay, and we are going to discussing on mod x, right? See, mod x is equals to 4 or less than 4 or equals to 4. See, in these two cases, mod x value is equals to 4. Only in these two cases, plus or minus 4. And in between these two cases, mod x value is less than 4. And in these two cases, that means for every value of x which is greater than 4 and which is less than minus 4, in these two cases, mod x value is greater than 4. Okay, see, this discussion looks like very simple, but it plays a very important role in different types of competitive examinations and usually the exams what we are going to attempt in future. Okay, so do concentrate on these small concepts. Okay, and these small concepts will raise your confidence and will give us more speed to solve the problems. Okay, thank you. Okay, I am going to discuss some more properties and some more problems on this modulus in the next videos. Thank you.